Let's get started in child's pose today. So coming onto your mat towards the back, sit back on your heels. Bring your knees nice and wide. If you've got a bolster, you are welcome to place that lengthwise under your belly as we get started. And just find a nice, comfortable fold here. If you're on your bolster, maybe it looks a little like this. Or if you just like that child's pose, reach your arms straight out towards the top of the mat. And then find some release through the chest and belly as you fold forward towards your mat. And once you come to a place of stillness, maybe you blink your eyes closed. And then together, let's take a deep breath in, maybe through the nose, maybe through the mouth, your choice. Breathe it in all the way up. And nice and slow, follow that breath all the way to the bottom of your exhale. Inhale nice and slow. Begin to notice where you feel this in the body. Maybe the rib cage expanding, belly inflating. And a slow, smooth exhale all the way back out. Belly compressing. One more like that. Breathe in nice and full. All the way to the top of the breath. And nice and slow. Go ahead and let it move. On your next breath in, pick yourself up to all fours, coming to a tabletop position. Stack your knees under your hips, shoulders under elbows. Wow, anatomy. Wrists under elbows under shoulders. There we go. And find a nice long spine here. Take a deep breath in, look down at your mat, lengthen through the back line of your neck. And as you exhale, round through the spine, tuck your tailbone under and tip your chin back towards your chest. Good, really breathe it out. This is your cat pose. With your next inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin, look forward, and point your tailbone to the sky. Deep breath in, feel the length of the front line of the body in your cow pose. And as you exhale, flow back to your cat, rounding through the spine nice and slow. As we practice with that slow inhale and exhale, maybe your movements match that. With your next breath in, drop the belly, look forward. Exhale back to your cat. And inhale back to your cat. Now shift back to your child's pose for just a moment. Walk your fingertips really long to the top of your mat. Feel a little bit of space, maybe through the shoulders and arms and upper spine as you reach those fingertips just a finger pad further up. Deep breath in and a full breath out. This time as we rock up to all fours, tuck your toes under, and we're going to come up to a forward fold. So at the back of your mat, get yourself up there and keep a nice bend in the knees. Let's keep those blocks nearby. Those could be a nice option if you'd like them. Maybe on the highest. With the bend in the knees, this is going to keep the hamstrings a little bit soft. We are early in the practice. This is a restorative, so we don't really warm up the muscles. So from your forward fold, let's hinge at our hips. Bring the belly towards your thighs. Again, bend through the knees. And then let go through the head, neck, and shoulders. Let your head just hang heavy. You could start with your feet shoulder width distance apart, but some of you might find that a little bit of a wider stance is more comfortable for you. So take a little movement here. Maybe shake the hips side to side. Maybe roll out through the neck by shaking the head yes and no. Or simply find some stillness and just invite openness through the back line of the legs. Deep breath in. And stay for the full breath out. If you widen your feet, let's go ahead and walk them back toward one another. Maybe your toes touch. Bringing your hands to the mat. Let's find, or to the blocks, excuse me. Let's find a nice long flat spine called a halfway lift. This is simply just engaging that core muscle. So if you don't want to have your hands on that block, you can place them maybe on your upper thighs. Let's take a breath in here. And then exhale back to your forward fold. Blocks are always there as an option. Nice and slow. We've been forward. We've been folded for a little bit. So rise to standing very slowly here. Roll out through the shoulders and breathe in. Sweep your hands up overhead. Big long body stretch. Exhale, find a side body stretch. Doesn't matter which direction. We will balance it out. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale the other direction. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands from your hips first. Maybe you bend their knees and sweep your hands all the way down to a forward fold. Awesome job, you all. Let's flow that breath to movement. Your breath, your movement. You need to slow it down. You can. Let's start with our exhale. Breathe it all out. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Long, flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise as slowly as you need to with your breath. Hands come up overhead. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, upright. Exhale, other side. Inhale, upright. And exhale, forward fold all the way to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Strengthen that spine here. And we're going to come forward into a downward facing dog. So maybe you walk the hands to the ground and then come all forward. Possibility to drop to all fours first and then pop up. I will invite you to keep your knees a little bit bent here. Again, maybe we all have tight hamstrings, but I like to give that. And then if you want to walk the dog or pedal it out here by alternating each ankle, this might feel good to the calf muscles. And then once that feels good, you can find some stillness in the lower body. Oftentimes in our downward facing dog, we get lots of tension between the shoulder blades. So if you're able to shake the head no just a little bit, wiggle out a little bit of tightness there. Awesome. Deep breath in through the nose, look forward at your hands. And as you exhale, tiptoe walk yourself forward to the top of your mat this time. Nice work. Grab the blocks if you'd like them for your halfway lift. We'll take a breath in, lift halfway. And exhale back to your forward fold. Inhale, roll up the spine to standing. Arms reach up overhead. This time as you exhale, maybe you practice your arms, shine your chest up to the sky, breathe it all the way out. Quick note, if this doesn't feel good in your low back, bring your hands down here for a little bit of support, and then find your arch. Stay for one more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, see your hands up high if they're not already. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Keep your left foot where it is. Exhale, plant your hands and step your right leg back. We have a couple of options here. Your blocks are always here to bring the ground a little bit closer. If you need that, we want to have a nice, strong chest here. This back leg can always come down to the ground as well if that feels a little bit better in the body. What I want you to focus on right here is just something that feels good. So maybe for some of us, it feels better in this left hamstring, giving that some stretch. Maybe dropping that right knee to the ground gives you a little bit of a hip flexor stretch. If you want to try a more active practice, you bring that right leg back up and then check in with the alignment of your hips. The right hip is going to want to drop a little bit, and that's okay. Just strengthen that core, lift and align. Almost like you're halfway lifting with your upper body. Engage the core, strong shoulders. Awesome. Stay here, stay lifted if this feels good. I want to give you a little bit of a twist. So placing your hand in, or placing your weight in your right hand, and the left arm up, spin it up to the sky. Maybe keep your hand up to the sky if that feels good. Maybe tuck it back behind the right hip area. And again, note, if you're getting wobbly, if your right wrist is taking a little too much, you can place that right knee right back on the ground. Breathe out. Inhale, right arm to the sky, or left arm, excuse me. Exhale, left hand down. Deep breath in. If the right knee is down, let's lift it here all together. Breath in. We're going to come forward to step out. Step up and halfway lift. Awesome. Inhale, or in forward fold. Guys, I'm all mixed up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep forward fold. Inhale, rise to standing, nice and slow. Your choice here, if you want to do the side bends or a back bend, I'll cue you through it. Exhale one way if you are side bending. Breathe it in. And exhale the other way. Either direction, or either variation you chose. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. This time we're going to keep the right foot forward and step that left foot back in your runner's lunge. Take as much time as you did on the other time setting up, knowing that the blocks are there for support. You can drop that left knee down. Take a little bit of time here. I want you to feel those stretches. Again, if you want a little bit more of an active practice, check in with the alignment of the hips. On this side, that left hip might be sinking down here. Just pull it back up. Use your mind's eye. Maybe close the eyes. Feel it through the body. Good breath. If you'd like to try that twist, have your leg lifted or down, doesn't matter. Weight in your left hand. Right hand up to the sky. If you'd like to find that line, you can tuck it back here as well. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, unwind the arm. Exhale, bring it back down to the mat. Deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Step that left foot up by the right. Deep fold here. Really generous to the body. Maybe shake the head no. Might have had some more tension through the upper body here. Nod the head yes. Inhale, find a halfway lift. And exhale, let's come down to all fours. Sit on back to your heels for just a moment. Relax through the shoulders and just blink the eyes closed. Take a couple settling breaths here. Circling back to the beginning of practice in our child's pose, where you just simply trace that breath in and felt as that breath traveled right on back out. Let's do 2 more like that. Fill in all the way. Once you reach the top of your inhale, nice and slow, let it go. After your third cycle, there's no rush on that breath work here. I'd like to invite you down on the mats. Supine here, which is on your back. Let's keep those blocks and bolsters nearby in case you want to use them. I'll give shout outs, so it'll be a good time to use it. But as we come onto your mats, since you roll on back Let's bring the knees up to the chest. Some of you might feel better just squeezing those knees and remaining still. For me, sometimes a little gentle rock side to side feels good in the low back. So if you want to try that on or any other variation of this shape, you can do that here. Rock to stillness all together in the center. Nice long spine here. Lift and lower the shoulders so they feel nice and supported by the mat beneath. And then when you're ready, if you'd like for a little single leg stretch action, let's keep that right knee bent and go ahead and extend your left leg. Maybe just that left foot comes to the ground, you keep the knee bent. Might be feeling something already. Or maybe you walk that left leg long and see if you feel something a little bit more there. Again, I love to give options. So if staying right here in stillness feels good, then that's your jam. You want to take that right leg and give it a little stirring action, I guess, or side to side, or a gentle hip flexor massage. I love to give that option too. Got a number of breaths to just explore how these shapes feel in the body. There's no right or wrong way of how you're supposed to look. Just feel something. If you'd like a supine twist, take that right knee, draw it across your midline towards the left side of your body. And then as you roll just a little bit onto your left, right leg comes up and over. I do want to give a note that sometimes a yoga block might feel really good under that right knee for a little bit of extra support, or maybe even your bolster. Go ahead and go back to your breath. If you've not done so yet and want a full spinal twist, turn ever so gently your head over your right shoulder. Real twisty from the tailbone to the top of the spine. Nice and gentle, and make it feels good. Nice full breath in and then shake. And as you exhale, slowly unwind back to center. Let's bring both knees up to the chest. For a little counterbalance, if you want to do that side to side roll, that's welcome here. Or if you want to just hop right into the other side, let's keep the left knee in close and then extend your right leg to whatever depth feels good for you. Taking note of how we feel today. Any little adjustments to make this feel a little better, a little safer in our body. If at any time through this side to side motion, you find an area that you want to pause and hold, try that too. This is your practice, your journey. Knowing that that supine twist is there for you when you're ready for it. Taking the left knee nice and slow and controlled across the midline of the body. Finding your twist. And if you'd like to, as you did on the other side, maybe you turn and look over the left shoulder. sometimes towards the end of practice with these much slower moves, our breath tends to fall off a little bit. So if at any time you feel you're losing that connection of your breath to your body, start over with your next inhale. Nice and slow all the way in. Then just as slow as you breathe out. One more breath in this shape. And as you exhale, slowly unwind. Your option here, either you bring the knees up to the chest just as we did on the other side, or maybe you want a different counter action and you can take a peek up here. Got my feet nice and wide on the mat, and then just a little windshield wiper action of the knees side to side. Sometimes feels good. We might have had a little bit of built up tension in our lower back that we weren't quite aware of. So let's move that out here. Let's go ahead and then sit up for just a moment. I do want to get this bolster nice and comfy for our last couple positions that we have here. So we were just in, I forget what that shape is, but that supine one leg up. We're going to try that again, but with our hips lifted by this bolster. So kind of want to get like your tailbone right in the middle. You'll find your sweet spot will all be a little bit different. It's up our anatomy. And then starting with both feet planted on the ground, let's go ahead and bring that right knee up towards the chest. Yeah, you might be feeling a little bit more through that left hip flexor if you're already on this side. And don't worry, we're not going to get into a twist. We're just going to stay laying flat. And then if you want to, maybe try extending the left leg. See if you feel a little bit more attention to that left hip flexor. We don't need any movement, just find your breath and a nice gentle hold. One more full breath in. Slow breath out. If your left leg is long, let's bend the knee and bring that foot back to the mat. Release your right leg, switch it out. Left knee comes up. If your right foot wants to stay where it is on the mat, that is awesome. But if you want to walk that one forward as well, find your variation of this shape. Get any little fidgets out, and then together, let's do 3 full cycles of our breath. And be on out. And we begin with the full breath in. Back out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, nice and slow. Breathe in. And slowly breathe out. The right leg is long, bend at the knee first. And then let's bring both feet to the mat. We want to try that windshield wiper action here. See how that feels in the body. And then nice and slow, let's roll back up to the seat. We are going to use our bolster for our final resting posture, our Shavasana. Let's go ahead and put that lengthwise. We're going to a supported fish pose. If you don't want to use the bolster, you do not have to, and you can just lay flat on the mat. But let's bring this bolster along the spine. Just go ahead and lay on the back. The intention here is just to open up through the chest and belly area, giving you more mindfulness to that full breath. If this doesn't feel good in your body, you don't gotta do it. As you settle into your place of stillness, take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Oftentimes through yoga, we think that the postures and the flows and connecting all the things may be the most difficult part. And we're not minimizing that those practices can be difficult for some. I like to argue that Shavasana is sometimes most difficult, especially for busybodies. So for these next few moments, just be aware of where your mind goes. And since this is a practice, know that your mind will wander. And rather than to self-shame or whatever the inner monologue is, just bring yourself back to your breath. And simply say inhale and exhale. Got a few moments here together. Your job is to simply do and breathe. Give yourself permission to do that. Stay as you are for a few more gentle breaths. You begin to wiggle your fingers or toes. Roll out the wrists and ankles. I had a yoga teacher once that said every snap and crack is your body releasing old stale energy. So make space for that new fresh energy as we come off of our mat here shortly. If you're on the bolster, find your way to just exit nice and smoothly by rolling to one side. Roll that bolster away and then come flat on your back. We'll finish our class reclined today. So if it's comfortable for you, keep your eyes closed. Place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. Let's take a full breath together in through the nose and out through the mouth. May there be peace in the mind, strength in the body, and love in the heart. Namaste.